Now this is the LE 077 period 2 examination. So, an AC supply drives half controlled thyristor bridge with a resistive load. Sketch the circuit diagram and the voltage and current waveforms. So, kaning half controlled thyristor, ang yang circuit diagram is kani na ay supply, single phase supply, dayon ang kaning thyristor mo siya thyristor dayon. Kani siya ang transformer converting the DC to AC or AC to DC to AC or mugamay ang kurente. So yung waveform is kani perfect sinusoidal lang siya. Dayon kaning A sa alpha dayon, kaning alpha is ang delay sa VDC kani sa load. Muna voltage delay niya aya din siya gi saka. Dayon ginaog na pod. So on so forth dayon. Para siya pun sa current. Ang current lang mas gamay ang current na dako lang nako pero mas gamay gid current. Igon mo ani ra no. Ana nga dayon. Pero para sa voltage pag nga nag-start yapon sa A inaya po firing angle. Next is with a supply voltage of 240 volts operating at a 50 kHz and 100 ohm resistance as load. Find the average load voltage of the current at 140 degree firing and delay angle. The setup is thyristor half-wave controlled converter yapon. So given is this voltage VS or supply voltage is 240 volts. The frequency 50 Hz. Resistance is 100 ohms. Ang automaton is average voltage o average current. So average voltage is kanyang formula. Vm is equals to 2 pi times 1 plus cosine A. So plug in ang dayon. Kaya siyang Vm dayon. Vm or voltage source supply voltage times nato sa square root of 2 pi para sa RMS. Kaya kung lang siya kanang AC man siya. Then ang voltage of average voltage is equals to 12.64 volts. Next is ang average current. So ang average current is equals to average voltage equals to R. So naman tayo R, ipagin lang 12.64 over 100 is equals to 0.12 ohms or 126 milliamps. Next is this. Single pulse. What methods are used to control the frequency and output voltage of an inverter? What is the purpose of the base drive resistor R2 and R3 in the circuit below? So, ano yan siya yan? Ang output voltage is ano yan kuha na techniques or gamit para makuha ang output voltage. So, single pulse with modulation. Sinusoidal pulse with modulation. Trapezoidal pulse with modulation. So frequency then it uses the pulse with modulation technique to create a controlled pulses of inverter switches. Next is the base transistor. Narrow pulse and simulate low voltage, wide pulses simulate high voltage. So ang VP1 and VP2 are pulse generators as base drivers for the transistor. So VP1 is provides the pulse every periodic time t of the chosen frequency. So ang VP2 then ang VP2 provides pulse every periodic time but delayed by t over 2 on VP1. The last one is a half bridge has a capacitive element of 100 microfarad and a 50 volt battery of inverter is 1 kHz. The load is 5 ohms. Sketch the scale and the load current, waveform, ideal switches and symmetrical. So given is capacitor is 100 microfarad, voltage output voltage is 50 volts and frequency is the 1 kHz and resistance is 5 ohms. And T is equals to 1 so 1 over 1000, so T is equals to time period is equals to 1 milliseconds. Then tau is equals to T over 4 T over 2 day equals to 50 500 milliseconds, microseconds. So ang tau is equal to C times R. So capacitor times R. So tau is equal to 1000 microfarad times 5 ohms. So tau is equal to 500 microfarad. Next is symmetrical waveform. VC1 max equals to VC2 max. VC2 min, VC1 min equals to VC2 min. So VC1 max equals to VB minus VC2 min. And VC2 max, max equals to VB times VC1 min. So, yan siyang formula. Gamitin na ni. So, ang VC1 max is VB. So, the VB is equals to 50 volts. Then, VC1 max times E, tau over capacitor times resistor. So, marinig niya yung answer. Plug in lang. Next is the DLC switches. So, IL max is equals to IL RMS. So, IL max is equals to VC max over R. So, 36.55 volts over 5 is equals to IL max is equals to 7.31 amps. Then, IL min equals to VC min over R. Then, 13 times 45 over 5 IL. So, sketch na dayon ang duwa ka current. So, ano siya ang 2.69 minimum current and maximum current.